Greetings, owners of fine luxury cardboard rectangles, and welcome to Unstable Spoilers. Man, I am super excited about this set. I absolutely love the unsets, and I've been playing the game long enough that I can enjoy a lot of the jokes that they toss in there. Now, they're doing things differently, surprisingly. I mean, obviously, whenever they do an unset, they're going to throw some twists in there. This one seems to be favoring heavily the contraption theme, which is hilarious because back in the day, they made a card called Steam Flogger Boss, and it was just a throwaway card that they included as a possible card from Future Sight, right? And nobody thought anything of it, never thought it would turn into anything because it talked about assembling contraptions. Well, lo and behold, years and years later, contraptions are now a thing, and the Steam Flogger Boss ability is actually relevant, and they've included it in the set. So that's really cool. Now, in terms of sprockets and contraptions, this is a crazy little concept that they have. I assume that this will just be on the back of the ad insert cards that you can get in the packs here, so you'll get one of these. It seems like they will be useful to have in terms of keeping track of your contraptions. So you will have a contraption, separate contraption deck, apparently, when you play with Unstable. And this little sprocket card, how it works is each turn you move a counter basically along onto the next sprocket. So you'll start out on sprocket 3. So at the beginning of your first upkeep, you'll be on the first sprocket, and then you get to crank any number of the contraptions that are on a sprocket. So I bet you are wondering exactly what that means in terms of contraptions. Well, we'll get to that. The first thing, though, is because I have the cards in here randomly, before I talk about a contraption, I'm going to talk about Aerial Toastmaster. This is amazing. This crazy flying cyborg rigger, and rigger is a creature type there will be multiple of. Obviously, you've got the Steam Flogger Boss there. He is a rigger as well. So, it's got the big old toaster on the arm. The sacrifice another artifact, and this assembles a contraption, so you can get more contraptions. And as you see in the reminder text, it says, put the top card of your contraption deck face up onto one of your sprockets. So you get to select which sprocket you're going to be putting your contraptions on. So this is cool. There'll be a bunch of different riggers. The art is pretty amusing in terms of, like, I mean, how do you use an arm, a big toaster arm, as a weapon? Do you just clobber people with it? Do you fire toast? And the fact that Toastmasters are people who give speeches in real life, it's like a speech organization, also is amusing to me. I'm sure there'll be more. I'm not going to spend a whole bunch of time picking apart all the stuff in the artwork because we'll do that in another video. This is more just spoiling what you get. So you get a 4-mana 3/2 flyer, sacrifice an artifact to assemble a contraption. So let's take a look at a contraption. BB gun. This is hilarious. Look at this. You literally get to give one of your creatures a gun, basically, that shoots bees. Not the bees.
No, not the bees. Not the bees!
Oh my god, that's so cool. So basically what would happen is, let's say for example you were using the previous creature we just talked about, you would sacrifice an artifact, flip over the top card of your contraption deck, that would be this BB gun, you would choose which of the 3 sprockets you were going to attach it to, and then whenever you got to the turn where you landed on that sprocket, you would get to crank the contraptions that are there. So, whenever you crank the BB gun, it means for a turn you get to give a creature a BB gun, and it's represented by, with 2 mana, this creature fights another target creature. And I assume that's just because the other creature gets so annoyed by being stung by bees that they just come over and are like, let's fight, let's do this. Also, what the hell is that? Is that a dolphin bear or a dolphin wolverine? What the hell kind of creature is that? That's so cool. And the contraptions have these crazy little icons down here in the corner, it looks like. Oh, this BB gun is a mythic contraption. Interesting. All right. Next up is another contraption, dog snail engine. And this is just, the artwork is just bizarre. It's a dog snail. I mean, it's true to art. It's a dog snail, and I guess it runs cogs by running in a wheel. So whenever you crank the dog snail engine, target player gains life equal to the greatest power among creatures you control. Well, that's kind of funky. The artwork is insane, honestly. It totally distracts me from the ability altogether. So I guess once you get a bunch of contraptions going, things must just get absolutely nutty when combined with your regular magic cards as well. Or I mean, obviously not regular magic cards, but your other unstable cards. Then we have the Earl of Squirrel. Oh my god, look at this guy. He's like a squirrel aristocrat. He's got like a little golden acorn cup, and he's got his little like he's got a powdered wig, and he's got a foot cushion. He's got these squirrels coming, and they're like attending to him. Look at he's living in a palatial estate. He has see what is he 6 mana for a 4/4. He's got Squirrel Link. So however much damage this guy does, you get that many 1/1 green squirrels to attend him. And all other tokens you control are squirrels in addition to their other creature types. He makes every token a squirrel. And he gives them a bonus too. This guy is so cool. I love it. The Earl of Squirrel. Fantastic. He's even got like a gem on a pedestal. Awesome. Then we have Finders Keepers. All right. Well, I guess you found it attached to somebody and you're going to take it off of them. Destroy target creature, then assemble a contraption. Put the top card of your contraption deck. Oh yeah, obviously we covered what that did. The SENA, the sneak code clearly permits looting corpses for parts. That just meant Agent 47.3. Of course, you're going to have those point numbers. Had to make sure her target was dead first. Alright, well, that joke, meh, whatever. The artwork, though, I definitely enjoy it. She's just looking there, considering what she's killing a robot creature and fashioning a crossbow out of him. Is that what's going on? That's pretty cool. Then we've got Genetic Recombinator. Oh, crazy. Look at the creatures in there. It's got like a possum squirrel or a skunk squirrel or something. And what the hell is that crazy fish creature? Man, that looks like the one fish monster from Odyssey, but what's it supposed to be combined with? Anyways, this is another contraption. Whenever you crank Genetic Recombinator, up to 2 target creatures each get +2/+2 until end of turn. That's awesome. This is something that the Simics was... Hey, look, there's a bee flying by in the background. That's hilarious. There's a bee from the BB gun. That's awesome. There's going to be all kinds of little fun things like that hidden all over the cards. So I look forward to seeing them more in depth. I'm so excited about this set, honestly. I cannot wait. Then we have Hammerfest Boomtacular! 5 mana enchantment. Whenever you cast a spell with a Goblin Explosion near its watermark, Hammerfest Boomtacular deals 2 damage to target creature or player. It's less music and more straightforward hearing damage. Alright, what do we got here? You've got a bunch of goblins rocking out with a bunch of explosives and bombs at the top of the stage. That's amazing. The fact that it ties into the watermarks is so cool, and you can see the watermark for the goblins there in the background of the text box. That's dope. Alright, I like that. Then we've got Hangman. Look at him, he's got a hangman drawn on his chest like a little dude. That's so funny. He enters the battlefield, secretly note a word with 6 to 8 letters. For 1 mana, target player doesn't control Hangman, guesses the noted word or an unguessed letter in that word. If they guess wrong, put a +1/+1 counter on Hangman. Any player may activate this ability. Oh, that's awesome. So you play like a game of Hangman with your opponent, and every time they get it wrong, you get a +1/+1 counter. If they guess right, then you lose Hangman. That's actually really fun. A mini game on a card. I love stuff like this. That's awesome. Very, very cool. All right. Then we have Hardhat Area, another contraption, an artifact contraption. I assume they all are artifact contraptions? I don't think I actually looked. Let's just take a quick back. Yep, okay. It does appear, yeah. Maybe there are non-artifact contraptions. Probably not, though. That doesn't make much sense. All right, artifact contraption. Although it's an unset, so not making much sense is totally allowable. Hardhat Area. Whenever you crank Hardhat Area, roll 2 6-sided dice. Hardhat Area assembles a number of contraptions equal to the difference between those results. Interesting. Wow, so you could get up to 5 contraptions in 1 turn with this. That seems really powerful. You just got a goblin pointing at the cog. It's like, do this, buddy! But it's amazing. So it's represented where it's like the goblin gives instructions, but because they're goblins, anything could happen. So it could just be like, meh, didn't make any difference. Very neat. Kindly Cognition is the next card. 2 mana for a 1/3. Spells you cast that refer to artifacts or contraptions in the rules text cost 1 less to cast. What's wrong, dear? Nothing a 44 to 22 bronze spur gear and reducer pairing couldn't fix, I bet. All right. So this is like one of the Vidalkins that reduce the cost of artifacts normally. You've got like an cyborg artificer, but she's like a grandma artificer. So she's all like, oh, dearie, let me get you cookies. But instead of cookies, it's like, here's a 44 to 22 bronze spur gear and reducer pairing. That's amazing. Midlife Upgrade. Forget a midlife crisis. Get you a midlife upgrade. What do we got going on? 4 mana. As an additional cost to cast Midlife Upgrade, sack X contraptions. Assemble X +1 contraptions. Okay. All right, and what do we got? He's taking his arm off, and he's putting a lance on there. He's got wheels instead of legs now. Hell yeah, that's his midlife. He looks pretty old. I mean, that's his middle age. Wow, he's going to live a long time then. What's he going to look like when he's really old? Then we've got Stamp of Approval. 3-mana artifact. When it enters the battlefield, choose a watermark. Creatures you control with the chosen watermark get +1/+1. That's cool. I like this. I really enjoy the idea of tying things into watermarks. There are a lot of older cards with watermarks you could use this with outside of Unstable. That's awesome. And the artwork of them just walking, the goblins coming by and stamping their own stamp over it, that's cool. I don't know whose stamp that is underneath. You've got that's obviously the Goblin Explosioneers stamp on the top there. After that, Steam Flogger Boss. We already talked about him at the beginning. Other riggers you control get +1/+0 and have haste. And riggers matter now. So that's cool. And if a rigger you control would assemble a contraption, it assembles 2 instead. Very cool. So it'll make your other riggers more powerful. It's a rigger lord. Right on. Don't quit now. We're almost done. But then we'll build another one. Right on. It's cool that they brought this back. I never in a million years thought this would happen. A Goblin Lord contraption maker. Steam Flogger of the Month. Another rigger. When he enters the battlefield, it assembles a contraption for each contraption you control. Oh man, that would get nuts with Hardhat. That's awesome. The perks aren't great. It's because he's nailed to the wall. If you're the employee of the month, they nail you to the wall. That's awesome. Look at that. Man, this is so cool. And I guess what, did they throw tomatoes at him too? Yeah, they did. That's so funny. All right, then we've got Sword of Dungeons and Dragons. Hell yes. Playing off the Sword of Fire and Ice, Light and Shadow, that whole cycle. We've got the Sword of Dungeons and Dragons. 3 mana. It gets +2/+2. Protection from rogues and clerics. Oh, very flavorful. Very Dungeons and Dragons. And then when an equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, create a 4/4 gold dragon creature token with flying and roll a d20. If you roll a 20, repeat this process. Hell yeah, that's amazing. Rolling a 20 is like a critical strike in D&D. That's critical success. So right there, you get an extra dragon, and they're gold dragons, and they haven't made gold dragon tokens in before. And gold dragons are something that are distinctly Dungeons and Dragons. This is awesome. I really, really like this card. This will go in my cube. Then we've got Water Market, playing off of the High Market concept. Land, look at that big blue genie dude. It just stands right out. There's probably so much going on in this artwork. I can't wait to get a copy of the card and look at it up close. All right, Water Market, land, tap, add 2 colorless mana to your mana pool. Spend this mana only to cast spells with watermarks. Very cool. Definitely enjoy, like I said before, this watermark concept. Shopping list, lamp hand attachment, X-ray contact lenses, discount death ray, 2-headed hammer, kittenfish, hell yes, that should be top of the list. That's amazing. All right. And then, ending it off, we have the 5 basic lands that they have included for this unset. Now, previously, the full art lands were a big deal in the unsets, and Wizards clearly is considering them a big deal this time around because they've gone ahead and put the little like rare hollow foil stamp on it. Now, I don't think there's any point to them having done this because these full art lands, they don't feel special at all. They've made so many full art lands since like when they made the 2 other unsets. The unsets were the only way to get full art lands. That's how it worked, right? And then they did the idea originally when they went to Zendikar, they made full art lands, and that was cool. And then they waited a long time before they brought them back. But then they went, Battle for Zendikar will have them. Why not? Oath of Gatewatch, sure, they'll have them too. Then we'll put them also in Amonkhet and Hour of Devastation. Oh, we made them only 1 in 4 packs, but whatever. They've given all this variation now. So you no longer have to stick with these if you want full art lands. And it's not like the art on them is epically spectacular. They didn't do anything new and exciting with them. The mountain in particular is so bland and just disappointing. Most of the forest, I really like. Out of the artworks that I like, I find that the forest and the plains are the most appealing to me. But these do not feel special. And the fact that Wizards has put, like, normally in the unsets, most of the value comes from the tokens and the lands. Now, in this case, the full art lands have been reprinted so much that these just don't feel that special. I saw them and I was like, who cares? And before, it was a really exciting treat to see unfull lands. So these are the most disappointing part of the current spoilers that are out there. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you later. and that's when we'll talk. Well, since you're done here, why not check out my other channel, Hatcherisms?
Together, we are the sixth color of magic.
Heart Media, we the best magic!